Hi everyone, I'm Linda from Purple Rose Digital, and in this video I will show you how to make my miniature paper dolls from my Matchbox Dolls collections. And this is Colette, which is part of volume 1, The Traveling Sisters. Okay, so we've got the two drawers, the cupboard and the blanket, and we've got the sleeve of the matchbox. So the one that looks like a room is where we will be putting our blanket. Firstly, I'm just going to fold everything. I did pre-fold everything, but I'm just going to flatten all the folds. You can use a bone folder or just your fingers, and just make sure that everything is nice and flat and straight folds on everything. So typically you would probably put your second part of the flap towards the inside, but we are going to fold them outwards. So as you can see, I'm folding in and then out, and it will make sense when we add the two drawers together. But as well, the other reason for that is I've got some artwork of the room on the flaps, and if you're going to fold them inwards, you're going to hide that artwork at the bottom and the top flap. So I'm just checking that they are not sticking past the other ones. Just realigning this one a bit. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, as it's so small, but it's actually really easy. And if you have anything where it seems to be too long, whatever, you can just trim it slightly, because when we're working with such a small item, it is really easy to have parts that are too long or sticking over because it's so small. So we really need to be precise with our cuts and folds. Okay, so we are simply going to join the corners with these little flaps, and just make sure you have your corner nice and square. As you can see, I'm placing the flaps on the outside, so the little glue flaps goes on the outside, so that we can hide them when we fold over the other half of each side. Simply glue it on and then make sure the corner is squared and the top aligns, so that you don't have one that's a bit lower or higher than the other. That's the third one. And the last corner. Okay, now that we have all four corners joined, we can fold over each side except for the one on the left. If you want your room on the right hand side, like I'm doing, we are going to keep that one open on the left. And on the right hand side for the plain looking drawer. So we're going to fold them outwards, and again we're not going to do the two inner ones where we are going to join the drawers. So we're only going to do the top on the room, the right hand side and the bottom for now. As you can see, I've done the other drawer as well. I've joined the corners on the other plain looking drawer that's just got the wallpaper in it. And when you are doing the sides, make sure that it's glued on nice and flat to keep your drawer neat and going easily into the sleeve. Okay, I'm just going to speed up the video. Let's do the last side, the bottom for this one. And the top, bottom and left hand side for the other one. right hand side we're going to leave open. As you can see, the two sides that are facing each other, that side flap is still open because we are going to join them. Here's the previous one that I've made. You can see how it looks. So you can decide which you want to go over, which doesn't really matter. But the best way to do this is actually to first put them nicely on top of each other by putting one flap in and leaving the other one outside, but making sure that they are nicely aligned on top of each other. And try and hold it in place and place your glue on the first one. And you want to fold it over to attach to the opposite one, that it's otherwise it will be loose. So just make sure you are folding it so that it actually attaches to the opposite one of which it belongs to. I hope that makes sense. So you can see that I'm trying to keep it aligned. That looks pretty good. So you'll see they're already attached. But now we are simply going to do the other flap as well. And this one is going on to the inside. So just work carefully if your glue is not dry yet. Otherwise you can just wait for the first one to dry. That one we are going to fold over into the other side. So we've got two pieces attaching this double drawer that opens like a cupboard. This surely gives it a bit of sturdiness and hopefully it won't wear out very quickly because it's attached with two pieces. Again, just make sure it's glued in really well there. Alignment's looking good, so I'm just pressing down, making sure that it's glued in properly. And I'm really happy with that. Once it's dry, you can stretch the fold a little bit so that it can open all the way. As you can see, when you put it down, it's sort of halfway open. But you can definitely stretch that fold so that it can open further. Let's start with the sleeve. This is so easy. You just join the sleeve. I've already folded mine. And I'm just going to put glue in the area where it says glue. All the little blank area that doesn't seem to be part of the artwork, because you have your front, your two sides and your back. So we simply join the sleeve because I've already folded it, and just make sure it's nice and straight. Make sure there's no excess glue on the inside, and that's the sleeve done. And of course you can ink all your edges. I did do a little bit of light pink inking, but not too much, but it does round off the item really well so that your sleeve looks so cute. And of course you can tick off each item as you collect the one that's in the box, and then as you collect them you can tick them off on each box. So there you can see it can open really well. And let's test it out. It fits into the sleeve. Oh my word, this is so cute. Now we're going to do our little cupboard piece, and it's going on the left hand side, and the blanket is going in the room on the right hand side. This is basically just it's a bit decorative, but it's more functional to keep your items from falling all over the place because they are so small. So it sort of contains the items you want in the cupboard on that side, and the doll with whatever you want with her on the other side underneath the blanket. So when you open it, it looks like she's sleeping under her blanket almost. So that's that. The other side you leave open because of course you need to open it to get to the items. So you can do it the other way around, but I think it's best to have them open towards the outside, just like a cupboard with your openings in the middle. And that's what that looks like. And the other piece is just to keep it nice and straight so that it doesn't flop around everywhere. So you need that extra little piece to keep it the same length, like a little boxed item. So that's all of that done. We can now just see how it looks. As you can see, again, here is the finished product, the sleeve and the double tray matchbox that opens like a cupboard, and you've got the doll and all of her items, and all of the clothes do fit. You can actually put them on her. So this is part of a collection of 5, the Traveling Sisters, and I'm planning to do other collections. So this is volume 1 of the Matchbox Dolls, and do keep an eye out on my Etsy store for the next release of the 5. As I said, this one will have 5, but I'm also planning on doing much more of them because they are just so cute and there's just so many possibilities to use them as gifts for kids to play with, or to add to your journals. And of course, they each volume comes with a little collector's book, as you've probably seen when you bought this item. And in the collector's book, you can add your collector's card, and you can really make it into a miniature junk journal. So this is a collector's book, and you can add your card, and you can really use it like a little miniature junk journal and create whatever you want with the ephemera pieces and all of that. So do keep an eye out on my Etsy store for more of the Matchbox dolls to make. Thanks for watching.